With WWE having a big weekend upcoming in Canada, we thought we would take a look at the 5 best Canadian wrestlers in the WWE's past. Number 5, Edge. Edge was known as the Rated R Superstar and won a staggering 32 championships in his career, along with the Royal Rumble, Money in the Bank, and the King of the Ring. He was an 11-time world champion and just seemed to be a guy that was always near the title picture, consistently having instant classic matches. Born in Ontario, Canada, Edge, he was met with success very early on in his WWE career, winning the Intercontinental Championship just 1 year from joining the roster. Number 4, Chris Benoit. Now, I know some of you are going to say, why would you add Chris Benoit? Because I'm not talking about them as human beings and what they did in their lives outside of wrestling. This is strictly wrestling. Benoit, without question, is probably one of the best technical wrestlers ever. Not just to step into a WWE ring, but any ring. Hailing from Montreal, Canada, Benoit spent his first 10 years in the business traveling around in New Japan Pro Wrestling, WCW, and ECW before finally making it to the WWE. Benoit reached the top of the mountain at WrestleMania 20, winning the World Heavyweight Championship against Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Number 3, Owen Hart. Undoubtedly, the most heartbreaking story in history is when we lost Owen Hart. We lost Owen at the age of 34, and it was a very tragic story, and a lot of people took it in many different ways. But just because Owen tragically left us, it doesn't mean we can't talk about how great he was. Owen, unsurprisingly, trained at the Hart Dungeon under his father Stu in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. He spent the first 5 years of his career training and working the independent circuit before finally joining his brother Bret in 1991 inside the WWF. From there, he found success as a tag team specialist before broadening his horizons and challenging Bret for the WWF Championship in 1994. Their matches together still to this day stand up to some of the best matches of all time. When all said and done, Owen was a 2-time Intercontinental Champion, 4-time Tag Team Champion, European Champion, 2-time Slammy winner, and King of the Ring winner. Number 2, Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho is the only man on this list still actively wrestling in the WWE, and I'm surprised he hasn't stopped yet. And it's a good thing, because Chris Jericho in 2016 is some of the best Chris Jericho we have ever seen. Chris Jericho from Manitoba, Canada is said to be one of the funniest, most entertaining wrestlers of his time. Jericho has been in the WWE for 17 years, and when he first dropped in on the WWE, he started at the top. In that time, he compiled 25 championships, including 6 World Championships and 9 Intercontinental Championships. The guy can do anything. He can go out there and cut a funny promo. He can go out there and cut a serious promo. He can go out there and have a great 20-30 minute slobber knocker of a match, have a great storytelling type of match, and just have fun. Chris Jericho, like I said, is said to be one of the most entertaining superstars of all time. Number 1, Bret Hart. Bret regards himself as the best that ever was, the best that ever is, and the best that ever will be. Bret is probably one of the best pure wrestlers to ever step foot inside of the WWE. His moniker, the Excellence of Execution, wasn't just a nickname, but it was something that he lived by during his career in the ring. Everything he did between the ropes was precise, exciting, and brilliant. Bret was able to work any style in any type of match, and doing so, he was involved in some of the greatest matches of all time. Most notably was the match he had with Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania 13. The match set the landscape for the next decade of professional wrestling, as it did help Austin become a star, but that's how good Bret was. Bret wasn't just good at making himself look good, but no matter who was in the ring with Hart, they looked good as well. Growing up in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, Hart also trained at the Hart Dungeon and signed with the WWF in 1985. His first 6 years he spent in a tag team with his brother-in-law Jim Neidhart, and saw very good success until becoming a singles competitor and becoming a 5-time world champion. Like I said, Bret Hart is regarded as the purest of pure, the greatest of great, the excellent of excellent, the #1 wrestler to ever come out of Canada. So there we have it, guys. Those are going to be your 5 best pro wrestlers to ever come out of Canada. Don't miss NXT TakeOver Toronto Saturday and WWE Survivor Series this Sunday. Until next time.